Good morning. Today is bittersweet. As we celebrate 100 years of developing scholars who go out into the world to create impact and change, it is also the end of my 10-year journey here at the University of Baltimore. When I embarked on my journey 10 years ago, I applied as an undergrad student at the age of 38. It was a critical moment in my life because my oldest daughter was in the 12th grade. And as I encouraged her to consider college, I felt like a hypocrite for not finishing high school myself. So I went on a journey to finish what I started, and I went back to school to get my high school diploma. I wanted to inspire not just my oldest daughter, but all three of my daughters and women and girls around the world. I wanted them to know that you can be the underdog and still come out on top. May is a time of celebration. It's graduation season, the flowers are blooming, and it's the beginning of summer. And oh, how could I forget that we celebrate our mothers during the month of May. But it is also about mental health awareness. It is indeed a beautiful time of year. For most of my life, I've been an entrepreneur, so a degree in business management seemed like the right choice. But 8 years ago, life began to life, and I fell into a deep depression. My grades suffered, and I was on the verge of being kicked out of school. You're probably thinking, this is a graduation, Christy. Where are you going with this? But stick with me. I'm going somewhere. I assure you that you can't get a mental illness by talking about it. So let's dive in. If you had asked the old version of me to stand in a room full of beautiful people like yourselves to share my mental health story, the heaviness of shame, guilt, and judgment would have made me shrink. But not today. Not today, because I come to stand on business by speaking up against the stigma. I know that 1 in 5 of us struggle with our mental health. I know that depression is the leading cause of disability today. And I also know that a suicide happens every 11 minutes in the United States. And I know that someone here in this audience needs to hear this message of hope now. 8 years ago, I was depressed and suicidal. I was so suicidal that I burned my house down with me in it because I wanted to die. Have you ever been tired? I have. I was tired of having to be the one to carry it all, tired of feeling like my goals were out of reach, tired of feeling alone and misunderstood. Y'all, I was just tired. I collapsed under the weight of it all, and I surrendered to the dark thoughts in my mind. Thank God I did not die that day. I'm grateful for another chance at life, but I was arrested that day, and I spent 30 days in jail. But if I'm honest, jail was probably the best thing that could have happened to me back then. While I was in jail, a guard had offered me a pen and paper. I had no idea what I was going to write, but with nothing else to do, I accepted. 1 page turned into 2, 2 pages turned into 3, 3 into 5, and before I knew it, I had a pile of paper before me. I poured my heart out on the page like I had never did before. I was able to express myself in ways that I had not been able to do in therapy and even with those closest to me. I instantly felt lighter, even in the midst of jail. All of this happened while I was a student here at the University of Baltimore. One of the first things I did when I was released was rush to school to change my major from business management to English because I wanted to explore this writing thing. And for the first time in a long time, I was able to focus on something other than my sorrows. And I rebuilt my life within 6 months by taking a stand to do the work and heal from my past. When I healed, there was a pull on me to tell my story in a book. So I decided to write a memoir. I wanted to support others in their journey because I believe that we connect through stories. I also believe that I had to tell my story to shatter the myth about what mental illness looks like, because nobody would believe a well-polished, professional, studious woman like myself was facing serious jail time after attempting suicide. Depression doesn't care about your pedigree, your economic status, the letters behind your name, your gender, or your race. Mental health is not a me thing, it's not a you thing, it's an us thing, because mental health affects us all. So when I graduated undergrad during COVID-19, I entered the creative writing and publishing program to write my memoir called After the Fire. I stand here today to let you know that I have published that book. But not only have I published one book, I published 3 books. They've all become Amazon bestsellers. And I did it all with the knowledge and support that I received through this program. I've even started a publishing company where I'm committed to amplifying the voices of other people who have lived mental health experiences. I don't stand here today as a hero. I stand here as a guide to let you know what is possible. I stand here as a witness to let you know that you can beat the odds. I stand here as someone who was diagnosed with being on the spectrum last year, someone who was a high school dropout, a suicide attempt survivor, who's graduating today with a master's degree, who was giving the commencement speech. In the fall, I'll be moving on to pursue my PhD. But I didn't get here alone. I want to thank our president. You probably don't remember this, but I sent you an email back in 2017 blasting you for not making student mental health a priority. Right away, you responded with a solution to my problem. You were kind and you were generous, and I will never forget the compassion in your response. I want to also thank Betsy Boyd, my program director. Because when I applied to the master's program, she saw me as a person, and she looked beyond my low GPA. I wouldn't be here right now if she had not given me a chance. I want to publicly thank her for her humanity. I want to thank the faculty and my peers for helping me bring my story After the Fire to life. Lord knows I cannot leave this stage without thanking my mother, y'all. She has prayed with me and for me and has never stopped believing in my promise. I want to thank my family who have loved and supported me back to life. When people hear my story, they often want to know, how did I heal so quickly? And my response is grit, prayer, tenacity, and determination. The same grit that you, class of 2025, have. Many of us applied to our programs during uncertain times of COVID-19. And many of us still feel uncertain in today's climate, but never forget the same grit that it took you to get here, that it will take you to get to wherever you want to go in life. If you don't remember anything else from this speech, remember that we all have a story. The fire that should have killed me saved me, and now I am the flame. In the words of Maggie Kahn, social change advocate, speak your truth. Even if your voice shakes, tell your story because you never know whose life it will impact. We did it, y'all. Congratulations, class of 2025.